consumer price index report comes out tomorrow before the market opens at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So in this video, I want to go over a preparation for what that looks like tomorrow morning for stocks, bonds, all those things as we ripped up to the upside today. But then as you saw towards the close, there was some profit taking. So what should we expect tomorrow? We don't know until we have that reaction in that report an hour before the market opens. So let's talk about it. Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Dr. B. If you've never been here before, I appreciate you so much. If this is your first time, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, turn on those notification bells. And for many of you, you're not yet subscribed, so would love to earn that for you. So I'll give you a second. Go ahead and hit that subscription button. All right, cool. If you want to earn that like, if this is making sense for you, hit me that like during this video. All right, let's jump into the value today. All the links are down below to support the channel any type of way using our brokerage links and or potentially joining Leverage University, minimum jumping onto our newsletter and then deciding to jump inside the community. There should be a small 10% or a small coupon code that pops up. If it doesn't yet, you can message our support team. We'll help you out there. All right, so let's jump into it today and get down to business. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up the economic calendar from today. And we always wanna make sure that we know what is going on the docket, as we like to say. And today we had existing home sales, which spurred the market a little bit higher after all the dust settled in. We had SPY pull back to that 675 and hold, and then spur up into a new breakout above 680 and some change. We also had QQQ break above that 609, above that daily 20, which we'll show on the charts in just a second, and into a new high, but then sold back off underneath that 609. So a lot of volatility continues in the market, and we need to be prepared of how to trade that. If you are wanting to sit on the sidelines for a little bit until the dust settles, that is perfectly fine. I definitely understand. But if you would like to trade with us, we'd love to have you inside the community. All right. So CPI, here it is, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We got the the consumer price index. Now, for those of you that have not listened to my economics report video, go on the trading educational playlist and look at the title that says economic reports. Okay. In short, what this is the consumer price index. If it comes in hotter than expected, so a little bit higher than expected, then we can expect that the rate cuts that the Fed might kind of want to do may kind of taper off. Okay. So they may not have to step in. They're saying, hey, consumer prices are a little bit hotter than we expected. Let's slow down the rate cuts. And typically the stocks react a little bit more negatively if the report is very hot or very high. Okay. If the report is cool or kind of right in line, typically that's more bullish sentiment, or you will see the market kind of settle in and hold. And we want to watch specific levels on the chart. So there's your reaction if you're taking notes. If it's hotter than expected in the morning, you see potentially a sell-off, or you read the report and you see that it's hotter or higher than expected, we can expect stocks to pull back. If the market is, if it's cool or stable or right where it's supposed to be in line, as you can see right here, right in those alignments there, year over year, 2.4%, core CPI, 0.2, 0.3. If those stay right where they are, the market will probably continue in its kind of bullish state right now. All right, let's jump into the charts. All right, on SPY. All right, we gave the levels yesterday. If you're liking the short form content, I will be producing more of those kind of 1 to 2 minute little shorts on the channel. So go make sure to hit that like on that recent short if you like the levels there very quickly. I'll be doing some individual stocks periodically, just throwing those down. But if I can get SPY and QQQ levels, just pump those out. That may help some people. All right. So we had the 675 mark right there. And I've got my yellow line kind of pivots in here. Okay. Friday's high is holding up as support for right now. That's that 675, 675, previous highs, and then right into that 675. So you see we broke out of it, expanded above it, and then we held it this morning and then spurred into new highs. But guess where we spurred into new highs? Right into some key daily moving averages, as you can see right there. If I go into a daily, the daily 20, which rejected pretty aggressively there, and then also rejected back underneath the daily 100. Again, if you have not seen that moving average video, I would highly recommend going to watch that. I typically look at these moving averages on a daily and a weekly time frame. All right, they give sentiment of strength and or weakness. If it is below it and is pushing up towards it and recovering, it is typically going to try to go right back into them to take it out and go higher. If it is holding below them, they start crossing and they start kind of, as I've said before in that video, suppressing it like a wave on top of it. You can see that sellers are still stacked up as long as the price action or the candles or the price of said stock, or in this case indexes, are still underneath those moving averages. So that's why I always mark them to know where they are, even when I'm on my kind of 5 and 15 minutes. As you can see, they're still right there on the chart. So here's that 675 held today, spurred higher, took out new highs right there, but then right into this red zone of sellers stacked and sold right back off into and back towards that 675, right? So as long as that 675 holds up on SPY, you can look for it to kind of chop in between this range of around $5 to $6 or so. If it starts to break back underneath 675, then we're back into another big straight up low liquidity zone, which is right here. That straight up move, I've said to my community before, you may have heard me say it here, we can have a straight down move, okay, back to 670. So a lot of money to be made, but also you need to be on the right side of the trade. All right. So there's your levels on SPY and QQQ. Nothing's really changed from the last day or so. All right. Let's jump on the daily here on Qs. Okay. Where are the moving averages stacked up? Okay. Where did it reject? Right at the top of those moving averages. So CPI needs to carry us above, ideally, those moving averages for continuation, because again, are we really back, right? Or are we just still making lower high, lower high, lower high, and another lower high? Okay. So because the ranges are so wide and you get these big, massive bullish candles, it's really, really good to think very one directional, but we're still in a very choppy market. Okay. So last 2 days were very bullish and potentially very, call oriented. And then we come into CPI and we've got to be open-minded that do these levels hold, and we could be right back down to the lows. Just got to keep it open-minded. Hopefully I'm always speaking truth to you guys here on the channel. All right. So QQQ, the line in the sand, as you can see, it's holding up a little bit stronger here, as NVIDIA had pretty good news this morning. AMD spurred a little bit higher. We had AVGO going. The semiconductors were very strong today. Okay. So what I want to watch is this daily 20. Okay. So if I'm looking at ranges here and I wanted to scalp, okay, short trades in between those ranges, I'm not necessarily a big fan of that top wick, how it closed today, right? But also it's right holding above that daily 20. So this is kind of the channel that I'm looking at on Qs, at least for right now. Okay. 608 back up to roughly around that 614, 615. Okay. Right in between these moving averages is your range for now. If it clears back underneath those moving averages, look how big this range is. Okay. So it goes into the next box back up underneath. As you can see, if it breaks underneath that 607, 605, it can roll back down to the 600s and the 595s. All right. IWM, not the best looking candle there into the close as it pushed up into new highs at 257. But as you can see, if we look left here, that 257, pretty aggressive rejection there off of that. So I want to pay attention to that tomorrow. But again, as long as it's above this previous weekly low, which is right here at roughly 250 to 251, more specifically 251, I like. As long as it's above there, it can kind of stay within this kind of box range, as you can see right there. As long as it's above here, goes back, forth until it decides to break that 250 and go lower. But not necessarily a big fan of that, how that candle closed there towards the end of the day. But again, if I go into shorter time frames, into the hourly, what if this looks like this? This is just a pullback, bam, to go higher, right? So if I go to a different time frame, I cannot like the daily candle close, but I also can look at the hourly and say, well, it's still above this level. This could just be a pullback and retest and keep going. So if you were to ask me right now, I still think that we are in short-term fear, which is recovering pretty nicely, which is showing some buyers stepping in. But again, sellers are stepping in at the highs, buyers are stepping in at the lows. It's just what it is. There's no definitive answer. Every day is different, right? So there are your indices there. Let's jump into some equities really quick. NVIDIA, very strong. It's also got its GTC conference coming up next week. So pay attention to that. NVIDIA could get some really nice bullish action going into their AI conference the next couple of weeks. And if there's some big announcement at that conference, I think NVIDIA looks really, really good perched up on the top of this balance here at 184. You can see break, retest, and then there's a possibility of a continuation if it breaks above that 187. Okay. Very low volume here, straight down, straight up move. So I do like the NVIDIA chart now. It is back above a key level, but look at that moving average stack right there. You want it to clear above there, but pretty nice close there into a new high as long as it's above 184 and some change. All right. So CPI needs to be pretty decent, needs to come in as is, needs to come in cooler. So there's more suggestion that the market is okay, rate cuts, so on and so forth. All right. So I do like that on NVIDIA. Another one that I like personally is how Amazon's perched up for bullish action. You can see right there above that 212 kind of bullish flag looking action here. If Amazon takes back out 216, you got 220 and you got higher here on those moving average stacks. Look how much space is between the daily 20, how it held up there, and the daily moving average stacks up here, about 225. So 212 is your mark there on Amazon for support. All right. Microsoft, another one that has very similar bullish kind of setup here. And all these things can change based off CPI. So don't jump in the gun tomorrow morning if you're trading on your own, just thinking, oh, Dr. B said bullish, so I'm going to keep an open mind. That continues to hold these levels and these structures, then I would keep this in mind. But if it fails it, then you got to switch your sentiment a little bit. Okay. Daily 20 right there. Look how it's perched up above it. Okay. Perched up just means it's holding as support. You see below those, that daily 20 now reclaimed it and has the potential to use it as support to go higher like that. That's typically how that looks. All right. So Microsoft, another fairly decent bullish setup. Meta, I'm not really a big fan of this action here. So that's Meta. Google, not a big fan of what this is doing. I think Google and Apple, personally, in my opinion, not the best looking action. They've been fairly weak compared to the market. Okay. Look at Apple still not getting above that moving average stack there. You can see that Apple, it looks like a potential kind of bullish scenario here. Some people may be looking at, as long as Apple holds this area up here, that is support. I get it right there. Resistance right here. And it's got a higher low like that. I see that. But I also am looking at these moving averages that are crossing and doing some weird stuff here that could send Apple down like that. All right. So not really a big fan of, how Apple is moving here, but you can scalp it in between this range. All right. You really want Apple to get back above that 266 mark, ideally. Okay. For continuation, I should say. All right. Netflix getting a little bit on the weaker side here. If it can't hold up this moving average here, if Netflix pulls back, right, watch for that underneath that 96 level for, maybe a little bit of a retracement. So I'd watch that. The weeklies, probably rather it clear back underneath 95 personally, but keep an eye on Netflix. If it gets underneath 95, I think, it could lose some support there underneath 95. All right. So Palantir, fairly weak today as this war potentially ceases. That's not necessarily the best thing for Palantir as it benefits from war, so to speak. Now, it can move upwards in the midst of no war, but that's why Palantir was getting a little push here. And as you can see, as the market was pushing higher, what was Palantir doing? Going down. All right. And where is it going down off? The key moving average right there, the daily 50. And then potentially if it breaks a new low, watch for previous day low, continues lower back down into that moving average there, which will be back closer to the mid 140s. Okay. So got a couple of supports here that could hold up at Palantir 145. And if it breaks 145, you got that moving average. So I'd look for 145 as a pullback. If you're still bullish on Palantir, which I believe you should be at this point, if that's a pullback right there at 145, then that could be a buy zone for another higher low. Okay. Because we have changed trend and we have switched from downtrend back to uptrend. And if it holds that 145, ideally spur higher. Okay. Tesla, I think it's still sitting here. I think it looks great. I think it's still sitting. I think Tesla is just moving in one of these I think it just needs one little news spurt. When you get that type of action down there and it starts just sitting here like that, you just need one news spurt, bam. Right. So I think Tesla is looking fairly decent here, coming down into this support, holding that 380. Tesla gets back above that 420 level. I think it can really start moving back to the upside. Okay. AMD, just watch the daily moving averages. Spurred up above it today, above that 203, came back down below it. So AMD did get above the moving averages. So I would watch it above that 200 and 203. This could be bullish consolidation if there's good news and it goes like that and it moves alongside NVIDIA. If NVIDIA gets moving, semiconductors get moving. That looks pretty decent. So SMH, pretty strong today off that moving average there, holding that one. SMH, if it starts moving to the upside, watch out for these semiconductors. All right. Walmart. This one was interesting today as it looks like it's trying to fill that gap imbalance back to the upside. Watch Walmart as it broke out of this previous day high here, which is 124. Okay. With a target potentially back up to 128. All right. So watch Walmart there. Not a big fan that it's below the daily 20, but it could try to push up into that daily 20. If it breaks out of that, you got Walmart looking like a big bull flag here. Okay. Like a big bull flag, at least for now. All right. So keep an eye on Walmart. Big expansion, nice consolidated pullback, and then take off there. SoFi, still in the buy zone, still looking good. Hold on to that. And I'd keep adding to your big swing calls if you have them. Not financial advice there. Hood, still holding up here. Same thing. I think everything involved with crypto, SoFi, Hood, Coinbase, right? Just Bitcoin just sitting here consolidating for right now. Okay. So I think it needs some good news. I think it needs a spur higher, but all these setups are just holding. It's just not really going anywhere. It's just holding. So consolidate, hold, scalp, whatever you want to do. I know everyone's waiting for the massive breakout of Hood. I think it could get something pretty soon, personally, but yeah, just need to wait and see. Price action is not the best around this area. So dollar cost average if you're unsure with shares. All right. That's all I got, folks. Thank y'all so much for tuning into this video. If y'all can hit me a like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think is going to happen with the CPI report tomorrow morning. And I will see you all in the next video and hopefully inside of Leverage University very, very soon. Link is down below. There should be a discount code for you. If you don't find one, message our support team. We'd love to have you inside of live trading tomorrow morning. All right. Peace, love, and blessings. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.